DartSkill presents fractions. In this video, we are going to review a few concepts related to fractions. When you want to find a certain fraction of a certain number, let's say 2/3 of 12, you want to replace this word of with the multiplication symbol in math. So this turns out to be the same as 2/3 times 12 or 12 over 1. You know what to do. Do not multiply the 2 with the 12 before you are sure that there's no common factor between any of the numerators and the denominators. In this case, there is. You could divide 3 with 3 and 12 with 3. So this is equal to 2 over 1 times 4 over 1, which is equal to 8. So we say 2/3 of 12 is 8. Fractions are in their simplest forms when numerators and denominators are the smallest possible numbers. For example, the fraction 24 over 30 is not in the simplest form because you can divide both 24 and 30 with a number other than 1. Ideally, you want to divide them with the GCF of the numerator and the denominator. In this case, 6. So when we divide 24 with 6, we get a 4 on the top, and 30 divided with 6 is 5. So the fraction reduces to 4/5. You may have picked a number lower than 6 to divide 24 and 30, maybe a 2 or a 3. You would have got the same answer 4/5 for the simplest form of the fraction, but that might have taken you a couple of extra steps. Let's look at a few word problems now. 12 out of 18 students in a class picked maths as their favorite subject. What fraction of the class did not pick maths? Did not pick maths as their favorite subject. And there are actually two different ways to do this problem. If 12 out of 18 students have picked maths, then obviously the number of students who have not picked maths is 18 minus 12. So 18 minus 12 is equal to 6 students who didn't pick maths as their favorite subject. And 6 out of a total of 18 reduces to 1/3. You divide 6 with 6 and 18 with 6. You get 1 on the top, 3 on the bottom. So we could say 1/3 of the students in the class did not pick maths as their favorite subject. And the other way, of course, would be to find this fraction out. 12 out of 18 is 2 out of 3 or 2/3. So 2/3 of the students in the class picked maths as their favorite subject. So the fraction that did not pick would be 1 minus 2/3. Remember, 1 is the whole. So the whole class is represented by the fraction 1. Minus 2/3 is the fraction that picked maths as their favorite subject. Where am I getting this 2/3 from? This is 12. This is 12 on the top and 18 on the bottom. And if you reduce that, divide 12 with 6 and 18 with 6, you get 2 on the top and 3 on the bottom. And then 1 minus 2/3 is nothing but 1/3. So that's another way of finding the answer. Let's look at another one. Samantha and Peter were reading the same book. By the time Samantha had read 2/5 of the book, Peter had read 9/20 of the book. Who had read a larger fraction of the book? So this problem is about comparing the fractions 2/5 with 9/20. Between these two fractions, which is more? In order to compare two fractions that have different numerators and different denominators, you got to change them either to the same numerator or the same denominator by using the concept of LCM and equivalent fractions. Let me work with the denominators. The LCM of 5 and 20 is 20, so I'm not going to change this fraction, but in order to change the 5 to a 20, I'm going to multiply this with 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And then if I do that, I have to do the same on the numerator, multiply 2 with 4. And the equivalent fraction I get is 2 times 4, that's 8 on the top and 20 on the bottom. So this is the fraction that Samantha had read, 2/5, that's equivalent to 8/20. So this is for S. And Peter, of course, is 9/20. And obviously 9 out of 20 is more than 8 out of 20. So Peter had read, who had read, this is Peter, had read a larger fraction of the book.